Hey there everyone. In this video I am going to show you how to do the waistcoat crochet stitch. So first of all, I've got some big twist value yarn in this really pretty purple that I love. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've done so far. So I began this sample swatch by working 30 chains, and then I connected the chains into a circle, into this tube shaped, by working my first single crochet into the first chain. So I went ahead and made one round of single crochet, which is what you see here. I just went around and worked a single crochet in each chain, because to start the waistcoat stitch, you need one round of single crochet, because that's your base round, and then you'll be working into each stitch around with the waistcoat stitch. Okay, so this first round is going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to show you here. As you can see, I'm going to try and point out that very first stitch, and you can see the two bars, the two front vertical bars, and then I'm going to insert my hook in between those two bars, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops on my hook. And just another note here, I'm going to probably say it over and over, keep your tension very loose. Unless the pattern otherwise says so, keeping your tension looser than you typically do will really help you. It helps because it's such a dense material, or the waistcoat stitch creates such a dense material. So when you make your stitches pretty loose, when you go back through on the next round to work your next round of stitches, it's just a lot easier to work into each stitch and to find the placement of where you will insert your hook. So if you can see on this round, these single crochet stitches that I first made are a little tight. So it's been a little tricky to find that place to insert my hook. But basically just find those front two vertical bars, insert your hook directly between them, and then finish off your waistcoat stitch. So I'm going to keep going around and finish off this first round working into my foundation round of single crochets, and then I will be able to show you what it continuously looks like working into maybe stitches that are a little bit looser. And then I'll also show you the back of the stitch and kind of go over where your hook will come out of in the back, because I know that's kind of a harder spot that people get stuck on, is knowing if you're actually inserting your hook in the right spot and looking at the back then and wondering if it's coming out in the right spot. So we will also go over all of that in this video. But for now, I'm going to finish this round and speed this up a little bit. Okay, so I just finished that first round of waistcoat stitch into my single crochet foundation round, and here we're going to continue on. So there's that first stitch. You can see the bars a little more clearly now, and I'm going to flip you over to the back to show you what the back of it looks like. Okay, so you're going to have this bottom bar and then these two side vertical bars. You're going to want to bring your hook up right in between those two vertical bars. So here I'll show you. I like to use my middle finger in the back of that stitch to help poke the hook through. So insert your hook in between the front vertical bars of that stitch. And then if you can see in the back here, it is in between the two vertical bars in the back and above that lower horizontal bar. So that is where you will want your hook to come out. And then you yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through the last two loops. And then that creates a nice little V-shaped waistcoat stitch. So there's the next stitch. As you can see, I'm flipping it back to the back so you can see what it looks like. And you want your hook to come just above that horizontal bar and in between those two vertical bars. That's where you want your hook to come all the way through and out of. So here we go again. Insert your hook in between the front two vertical bars and come through in between the back two. There you go. And it's really really pretty simple, but I think these things can make it really tricky if you're not familiar with the stitch, because there are a lot of different loops and things to go through. So you want to make sure you're doing it the right way. And this is just the easiest way I've been able to explain it. So number 1, keep your tension loose. And number 2, insert your hook and make sure it's coming out the back between those back 2 vertical bars. And you should be good to go. If you are keeping your tension loose, it seems to work up pretty quickly once you do get the hang of it. It's definitely kind of tricky in the beginning, so give yourself some patience and just keep practicing and working through it. And I think you're gonna like it. So here I'm just gonna continue going around and showing you what it looks like, because I feel like that's pretty helpful when you're learning a new stitch, is just to kind of see the other person working it, and you can kind of see how smoothly it works up, and see when I kind of pick up the pace a little bit. It's still not, the easiest stitch to work quickly with, but look at that texture. It's so pretty. It creates the most beautiful material, and it can be used for a lot of things. So there I am showing the back again. You can see that back stitch. There's that lower bar, the 2 back vertical bars, and you want your hook to come up right in between those. So back to the front, and I'm going to insert my hook again. And yes, once again, I said it before, but it helps to kind of use my left middle finger to guide my hook through that stitch. So another important thing to mention is that this stitch does have a right and a wrong side. It's typically worked in the round and not in rows. Because of that, I think every row would just look a little different. It wouldn't quite look like this tightly knitted material. Of course, you can do it if you want to work in rows. No one's stopping you, but it does create a different look when it's worked in the round as opposed to being worked in rows. So yeah, just wanted to add that in there. And this is the stitch I use for my Not So Knit Pumpkin pattern, which I will also link in the description so you can go check that pattern out. It's a free pattern on my blog. But yeah, I wanted to make this stitch tutorial because I know that this stitch can be a little tricky to work with at first, and I figured I could just show you guys how I do it. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, send me a message on Instagram or send me an email, and I will hopefully get back to you soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was super helpful and gave you a great visual on how to work the waistcoat stitch. Feel free to leave a comment if you liked it or had any thoughts or anything that I could improve on it. And make sure you go like the video and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Thanks again for watching, guys.